Welcome back to the 24th floor. For many people, sports can provide inspiration during some of life's toughest moments. Our next guest knows that firsthand. Memphis native Marlon Qualls Jr. battled a serious heart condition, later connected with Damar Hamlin through the Abbott HeartMates program, is now sharing his journey in a new book. Marlon joins us now. Marlon, thanks for being here. When people often hear your story, they talk about the heart condition, but for you, where does this journey begin?
Man, thank y'all for having me. And this journey begins back in 2016 when I lost my grandma, my mom's mom, Sharon Boyd. And I was 16 years old, and that was the first person I lost close to me. So I was new to grief, depression. Really, I didn't even know what the word grief meant. I didn't know what depression. I didn't know I didn't even know the word mental health. So, people asked me how was life before I lost my grandma. I'm like, life was great. But when my grandma passed, a part of me died, and my childhood died.
Yeah.
So losing my grandma, I didn't grieve. 2016 when the family did, I started grieving a year later. Because in my mind, I'm thinking that my grandma would be back 2017. I'm like, grandma need a year break from the family because, grandmas be that go-to person for, when people need a place to stay, food, just everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, grandma need a break. So when 2017 came, we did a candlelight. I didn't see my grandma, so I'm like, this real, grandma not coming back. So that's when grief started for me. Mm-hmm. And then a couple months after that, 2018, that's when I started having random heart palpitations and shortness of breath and lightheadedness. And I never said nothing about it because I didn't think none of it. So one day at school, it got, worse. And, my heart was beating so hard and fast that my shirt was rising. Mm-hmm. So I got rushed to the hospital and they did heart ultrasounds and a stress test. And I had two nerve blockages on my heart, what they seen on the ultrasound. Mm-hmm. And in the middle of surgery, which they scheduled June 16, 2018, they found 3 more nerve blockages. And the diagnosis with my heart condition was broken heart syndrome, also called Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, which weakens part of the heart muscle and it interrupts the way heart pumps blood. And it, they'll mess with your breathing and all of that as well.
So it's funny, well, I want to say it's funny, when you say broken heart syndrome, and I'm looking at your hoodie, and it has blue and white, what I think of when I was a kid, that's what Joe Paterno allegedly died of. I don't know if you know Joe Paterno, I might be a little bit too old. That's a legendary college football coach for Penn State. You know about Penn State, right?
Yeah.
They have a really good college football team. Mm-hmm. And so, before, obviously, the person who they have now, which they had Franklin, and now the guy they got now, I forgot his name, Joe Paterno was, the coach for, 40 years. So, longer than, both of us, our combined age being, that's how long Joe Paterno was the coach. And when he passed away, I remember they said on ESPN it was broken heart syndrome. So as soon as you said that, that was the first thing that I kind of thought of. But kind of staying in this sports world, a lot of sports fans know the Damar Hamlin story. I remember personally where I was at my last station when the news broke and me having to go immediately on TV and lead the show to talk about it. What you have on your chest right now, the Abbott HeartMates program, you had a chance to connect with him. What did that experience mean to you?
Man, that experience, it means a lot because, his condition, cardiac arrest back in January 2023. Yeah. And he was the reason why I found out about Abbott HeartMates. He's an ambassador of the program. And the Christmas movie that came out last year on Hallmark, The More the Merrier. Mm-hmm. And Abbott was mentioned, and I'm like, okay, let me look into that, because, with my heart condition, I'm like, I want to be a part of more heart organizations. So I joined a huddle that Abbott did back in February for Heart Month, and, Damar was on there, and I told some of my story, and, with other people with heart conditions, past heart conditions, they told their story, and, it was just like community, to show each other that you're not alone. Some of us similar and some of us different, with our heart conditions, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
Was there anything that he told you that kind of sticks out to you?
Man, from our the draft call when he drafted me, they welcomed me into the HeartMates community with open arms, and it was a bit emotional because when it was time to sign, but he just told what stood out. He was like keep going, and that. Oh, I can't remember everything because I was emotional at the moment. Yeah. But he did, tell me that whenever I need him, he'll phone call away, message away, and we a community now.
Is it safe to say that you kind of softcore root for the Bills? Because of DeMar.
Yeah, definitely.
But before that, who would you say was probably your team if you watched?
My team. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a bandwagon when it comes to sports.
Oh,
I'm being real. Look. I'm rooting for whoever winning. Like,
oh, come on! You just like my co-host Ruben.
Look, when I go to the games, look, whoever winning, look, that's who I'm going with.
Oh, nah. So that means you was a Seahawks fan in this most recent NFL. Come on, man.
I'm a bandwagon. They'll be like, who you rooting for? Whoever winning.
And so for basketball, like whoever win, you'll be like, that was my team.
Basketball. Kobe Bryant.
Oh, that's why you ain't even a Grizzlies fan?
Kobe.
Man, you wearing the colors.
Look, I support the Memphis Grizzlies, though. You know, it's our hometown. I support them. I got a couple favorite players on the team. You know, Ja Morant one of them. And, you know, I ain't going to say too much. I don't know about the thing, you know.
So you got the dread colors like Ja. What neighborhood you from here in Memphis?
I'm from Orange Mound.
You from real?
I was born in Orange Mound, and I was raised in the sub.
Okay, I live in Orange Mound.
Chevy Drive, yeah.
I live in
Kimball Cabana.
Yeah, I live like right up the street from Bethel Grove Elementary. Yeah. And my people. All right, man. Let's get back on track. So looking back,
you just put me out
hey,
there.
Man.
Like this.
Hey, this is a sports show, man. We got to, I had to kind of lighten it up, but still kind of getting back. What was the most difficult moment during your entire experience?
The most difficult moment was, one, my mental health journey. That was first. Then the heart condition, and with the heart condition, before the heart condition, I was, grieving so badly to the point where I didn't want to live no more.
Oh, I know.
I had suicidal thoughts, and I contemplated on it, but 2022, that's when I attempted suicide.
Whoa.
Yeah, I attempted suicide, but during my heart condition, I felt less than a person because I was I was 18 and a senior, so graduation, prom, and I'm 18 and I don't see nobody else. None of my classmates going through this. So I felt less than a person, but around that time, I had to decide, do I really want to die or do I want to live?
Yeah.
And going through that condition, it really made me, appreciate life more.
So during those tough days, what do you think helped you keep moving forward?
My grandma, because my grandma never gave up. And, my family as well, they would support me during that time. I'm like, I can't give up on them because they haven't gave up on me. Yeah. And, my grandma, she never gave up. So I'm like, if I was to give up, I'd be laying my grandma down.
Yeah.
And then God as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for God.
I know that's right. What lessons did you learn about yourself that you don't think you would have learned any other way?
Well, what I can say is I learned my purpose and my calling with life.
Yeah.
And that's to, share my story and, become a stronger advocate for mental health and heart health.
Yeah. Do you look at life differently today
totally
compared
different.
to like before all of this happened?
Totally different. Life is precious, it's short, and I just want to help others. Like in both worlds, the mental health world and, the heart world, to let people know to take care of yourself. It's okay to not be okay, and your mental health can affect your heart health. And just put God first as well.
Yeah.
Put God first because, I lost faith in God, and when I built that strong relationship with God, my situation got better.
Yeah. So what are you doing now? Like ever since you joined Abbott Heartmates, kind of like what is your day-to-day now like?
My day-to-day? Well, since this book get released, I've been having early mornings and long nights, but, I pray every day, start my day with prayer, meditation, journaling, devotional. I put God first before the head of my day, before anything else. And, I eat healthy, no beef, no pork. I work out because, you got to keep that heart, pumping right. And I have boundaries set now. I just put God first, then me. And everything else, God just add to it.
I feel you on the food stuff because my uncle passed away last year to heart failure. I think my grandpa, on my dad's side, he passed away. I think it was a heart situation too. My dad had a heart scare not too long ago. And I remember, I was at my uncle's funeral and I asked my dad, I was like, man, all of these Densons, they keep going to heart stuff. I was like, what should I do? Yeah. And he was like, cut that pork out your life. So I am 30 years old. This is the last year that I am eating pork. I done told my girlfriend, I said, no more pork. And next year, it's the last year I'm eating red meat. You know, so I feel you on that.
You know, this recording that, so stick to your word. Stick to your word.
So how? I mean, when you did the food stuff, how difficult was it? Because man, I mean, we in Memphis, so you know how that barbecue.
Man, I wanted. Look, it wasn't hard for me because I wanted to live. And when my heart doctor told me that, you know, red meat, it causes, you know, risk of heart disease. And I'm like, because he gave me 3 options: a stent, a pacemaker, and a heart surgery. And you know, when anybody hears surgery, scared.
Yeah.
And I didn't want neither one of them, but I did the surgery, and I'm like, I got to do what I got to do to take care of my heart because I don't want to die.
Yeah. I mean, my dad's on a pacemaker. So tell us a little bit about this book that you're working on.
Oh, man, this book is called I Was Once Lost, But I Found God. It's about my mental health journey from 16 years old to 25. I'm 26 now. I finished the book last year. And it's picking up from when I lost my grandma and, you know, my hard challenges, you know, mental challenges and, you know, cutting people off, setting boundaries, like my entire mental health journey. And like I put my all into this book. Like it was hard writing it. Like it was some moments I can just write 2 words, you know, break down crime because, you know, I dug into the past. Excuse me. Some things I thought I had, you know, dealt with or got over. I just had a Band-Aid over. But now, you know, last year was my last time, you know, speaking at the event, you know, really in the public eye. So I took 7 months off to, you know, get the book together and also take care of my mental.
Did you ever have any writer's block while writing this? Because
no.
You didn't?
No, man. No. When I tell you, no writer's block. Every day that I wrote, I was just writing because it's like, it's so much that I haven't put out there yet. Like I do advocacy work. You know, I've done interviews, but I don't have enough time to actually share what I want to share. So in this book, I put it all out there. And there's some things that I put in the book that, you know, my mama, daddy, no family member knew that I've dealt with mentally.
Dang.
So it's gonna, like, the book, it's gonna make people mad as well too, because I put I put everything that affected me, everything that, you know, hurt me in any kind of way, I put it in that book because it affected my mental, like my grandma's death. I'm talking about that, and that's gonna make some people mad. Like, it's my truth, and in order for me to heal, I have to heal from the past.
Yeah, live your truth. Last question I want to ask you. If somebody is facing their own health battle or personal challenge, what do you hope they take away from your journey?
Take away from my journey is to, 1, put God first. Know that your current destination isn't your final destination. You gotta take care of you. You gotta put you first because, you know, you can have a healthy diet, you can do all this working out, but if your mental isn't right, your health isn't right, because mental health is health. And, you know, just, man, never give up. Because if I would have gave up, I wouldn't be here today. And if anyone going through any health, you know, heart condition, you know, reach out, you know, Abbott. And Abbott, they're a good organization. You know, they support community. Like it's like one big family at Abbott. And, you know, I'm thankful for Brian, Teddy, and, you know, Ambassadors Damar and Teddy for, you know, the support, the love that they, you know, gave, and the other 11 draftees who are part of Heartmates as well.
Yeah. Marlon, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us and sharing your story. Thank you so much for your time. When we come back, it's time for one of our favorite segments of the week, Best Thing I Saw. We'll each bring something from the sports world, pop culture caught our attention. We'll see if any of us can top the other. Stay with us.